So speaking of advice, right? So last week we touched up on the Mario Lopez situation, right?
Yes.
And how ignorant he sounded, whatever it was. But we never took like a real deep dive into the situation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I did a little research, man. And actually, I learned a lot, bro.
Okay.
I know my wife be getting tired of me because anytime I bring up a discussion,
she's laughing, by the way.
She think like I'm always trying to debate her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like,
that's your job, though.
I'm just asking so many questions, and then if you know what I'm saying, and I'm putting with all I know, you know what I'm saying, about a situation, and she's like, dang, are you debating me? You know what I'm saying? So like, we kind of bump heads a little bit, but I kind of relaxed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But but anyway, so so Mario Lopez, he made the statement of it was dangerous, right, for
children,
for parents to damn, what did he say? I don't remember the verbatim, but long story short, he was pretty much saying it was dangerous for parents to make decisions based off what children feel about their gender.
Yeah.
And I think specifically he said like around like 3 years old. You know
something,
what I'm saying? He said something like that.
Yeah.
So initially, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because we can all be wrong.
Yep.
And we can all flush ideas out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But in a safe place that don't hurt other people.
Right.
Because when you flushing ideas out and they are wrong ideas on a platform, that could hurt a lot of people.
Like Donald Trump?
Yeah. And that could hurt a lot of people, and it can hurt a lot of communities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you're not familiar with because you just flushing out ideas, not know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I personally think that that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? And when I flush my ideas out, I don't want to do it on this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll pillow talk. You know what I'm saying? If you got a wife, you got a girl, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, babe, what you think about this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When she think I ain't trying to debate her, I'm just asking a question.
Right.
And then I give my opinion. And then also, it's been in the news. So I'm listening to opinions of other people and trying to think, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, they think the same way I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But initially, I was wrong, bruh. I was kind of thinking on the same lines of him.
Wow.
I was like, you know what? Well, not everything, because he was wrong a lot.
Right,
It was he was like, you shouldn't make decisions based off, you know what I'm saying, what a 3-year-old, I guess, are saying or whatever. And I was like, well, how many things do we let 3-year-old make decisions of without your parental, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course.
I'm saying advice, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna think like that. I'm gonna do research. So NBC has I guess hold on, damn. Okay, here we go. So it's called, I think it's NBCnews.com.
Yep.
They have a article that's Think article, and the person who wrote this article is Chase Strangio. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to him. He's a trans activist, and he's a staff attorney at ACLU. Okay. So the headline it says Mario Lopez comments about transgender kids aren't just dumb, they're dangerous, right? So I was just flipping through the article and I'm reading it, and I was like, man, I'm learning so much from this article, bruh.
Yeah.
Because we don't know nothing, we don't know much about that particular community because we're not in it.
Right.
And because I'm not in it, I think I have my own opinions, but I don't know what that community go through.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? What the situation is.
So now you know how it feels to be white.
I get it. I get it. So check this out. So I was reading, so I'm just gonna open up with, let me read the first sentence. I'm not gonna read all of it, but if you email me, I can definitely send you the link.
Please email this man.
But let me just do a little bit of this. In a time in which trans young people are under attack from Donald Trump administration, state legislation, unsupportive school districts, and a cruel, unkind world, the last thing we need is an ill-informed discussion about non-existing dangers supporting kids who are trans, right? And they're just saying how Mario Lopez said some dumb stuff.
Yeah, he did.
So let me go down to like the meat and bones of what his point was. Okay. So let me start here. So it says the article reads, first and most importantly, there are nothing dangerous about supporting and affirming a child's expressed gender regardless of their age. The conversation with Owens, that was the radio show that he was on, Candace Owens. The conversation on Candace Owens' radio show would have audience believe that 4-year-old children are just waking up one day, declaring a new gender, then undergoing surgery interventions the next day. That's not the case.
Right.
So he's just thinking that these kids are saying, "Hey, mom, I'm this or I'm that," and the kids the next day they trying to send them to the doctor and get injections or whatever it was for
Right.
for their for their gender. What they said that at 3 years old at that age, children are growing like every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like every month. A kid that's 3 is different from a kid that is 3.5.
Absolutely.
And then different from a kid that's 10.
I see that with my own children.
You know what I'm
right now.
saying? So they were pretty much saying these parents know their kid.
Right.
It's months and months and months of these kids saying the same thing. So like, what do? You know what I'm saying? And my wife was telling me this too. She gave me like, duh.
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah. No, but you weren't that specific though. You was just saying, you know what I'm saying, general. But I had to really understand it. So I did my research. Right. So once I understood that, I'm like, okay, cool. And they're not, first of all, if you're not 18, they're not making any changes. But it's in rare cases, they do like a chest reduction or top surgery. They do top surgery if you're 16 years old, and that's rare occasion. But they don't do any kind of surgical stuff until they're 18 years old. Yeah. And the only thing is pretty much just support. It's pretty much like
that's all you can do.
Yeah, right? It's just like going to like a therapist or something. So they wanted to make sure they want them to identify with something.
Yeah.
So they can focus on schoolwork.
Yeah.
So they can focus on
just life, just
like,
well-being, being balanced.
Yeah.
That's what life is supposed to be out.
She's laughing, but
because everything I said with the bait would be the whole way home. It's exactly. What?
No, babe, you didn't say any of that stuff because I read the article and I learned new information.
That's the thing. Like she might have said it in a way, and you were just like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And then they say it in a way, and you're just like, "Oh, I get it."
Right.
No,
I said
you didn't tell me. What would you say, baby?
First, I said when your kid is coming to you and talking about, "I feel this way. One, how do we know that they don't?
Right.
Right.
Okay? And two, what are you supposed to do? Ignore him?
Yeah.
Like.
No, I understood that.
You need to. Decide,
address
okay, I'm going to address it and make them comfortable and let them do what they're doing.
Yeah, but that was general. That wasn't the part I didn't understand. I was understanding like, okay, so what happens? Like, do they like what they do immediately? You know what I'm saying? And the only thing to do immediately was, you know what I'm saying, pretty much just console them and reassure them that you identify with something, or if it's okay if you don't identify with anything yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just wanted to clear the air with that, because I learned a lot. And there are like Mario Lopez and whoever and all the other media outlets or headlines that don't understand that community. Do your research, bro. You know how long it took me to find that article. One Google search, and it was like maybe in the top 3. Yeah. It's so easy to find information when you don't know about something. You Google everything else. Yeah. You YouTube everything else. You're trying to figure out whatever it is. So like if it's something, and just don't read a headline. You know what I'm saying? Basically, just go off and do your own research like I did. And now I have a better, full understanding that I didn't flush out on a big platform. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you could just go straight to the source.
Yeah.
And the source could be, if you don't have any, like, if you know anybody in the gay community or you have friends, like I have friends who are gay, and trying to understand them,
right,
is it's a whole different life for them sometimes. Right. Like.